point where I'll invite this great woman of substance, this woman who has cut her teeth in the legislative act of lawmaking, rose to become the Nigerian High Commissioner to Jamaica with concurrent accreditation to Haiti and the Dominican Republic, and by extension the Caribbean, and has done so well and brought back home glory, encomiums, laurels to Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming the author of this book that is about to be unveiled. Please join me in welcoming Her Excellency Mariam P. Tamino, PhD. I can hear that applause for this great woman, a historian, a diplomat par excellence, a woman who's standing in the National Committee of Nations has brought us much more than we can count in terms of good luck and adding to the GDP of Nigeria. Can we hear that applause for her one more time? Your Excellency, ma'am.
Thank you very much. The distinguished chairman of this occasion, His Imperial Majesty, Kábíyèsí Ọba Enitan Adéyẹyè Ògúnwùsì. Thank you very much. I'd like to recognize the diplomats in our midst, and also to recognize the representative of the Chief of Naval Staff and others that are here, my friends from Ghana, the Senator Binta Masigarba, the Lagos Caucus, very, very distinguished gentlemen, the representative of the Chief of Naval Staff, captains of industry, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I decided to put up something so I don't talk for too long. You know, having been a legislator before, you might just think you will talk on end. So I decided to put something together so it will control the things that I'll say. I'm elated and very, very delighted to be a Nigerian. Thank you. And to say that I feel highly honored and privileged to stand before you today to talk about the book, The Cradle of the World. I'd like to say that a lot of talk has gone down concerning the linkages between the Yoruba stemming from Ile-Ife, our beautiful city, to other parts of the world. But I tell you that none has really been documented for those in diaspora to be able to trace their roots. Most of you will wonder, she's not a Yoruba lady. How come she wrote this book? And so I'd like to tell you a little bit about it. Upon my appointment as High Commissioner and diplomat to 4 countries, I did my research and found out the cultural affinities, the linkages. And so I looked very deeply of who to go to, and I had to go to Kábíyèsí of the source. Thank you. Thank you. And the day I got into the palace, I got the royal blessing of His Imperial Majesty. There was a lot of fanfare there in the palace, and it looked very familiar. And I was wondering, have I been here before? And I knew I had never been there before. And with the excitement, I went to Port Harcourt, and I met my uncle, and I told him the story. I showed him the photographs. And he said to me, it could be the time you were little, your grandmother used to work as the head of what we call the Egbele Remini, the leader of the women in the late King Amayanabo SPU Ogan's palace. And those women were very powerful. They're part of the coronation of kings. They're also part of women initiation. When we talk about initiation in rivers, we're talking about women that go to the fatting room and come out in those days in a beautiful ceremony where men see them and decide who to marry. My grandma was in charge of such. And I remember I was a handbag to those occasions. And so I placed it together. I said, yes, my visit to Ife was a homecoming. And that was where this vision started. Now, you wonder, and so what happened next? I went to Jamaica in the midst of COVID. And as soon as I got there, a month later, I met a group of Jamaicans who came to meet me and said, please, we need to learn the Yoruba language. And I was wondering, I can't even speak the Yoruba language to teach. I can share a kushel, a wajoko, different things. And I'm going to learn it. And luckily, I got a volunteer who decided to teach these Jamaicans Yoruba language for 180 days. And I saw the commitment, I saw the enthusiasm, I saw the desire to learn, I saw the desire to connect, and it moved me. I thought that was all. Shortly after, I saw a troop of other people, not even only in Jamaica, in Haiti, in Dominican Republic. They'll come up to me to say, this is the result of my DNA. I've traced my DNA, I'm from Nigeria. Even some say I'm from Cameroon, and some went beyond tracing their DNA to Nigeria to reducing it to finding out where they're actually from. And most of them traced it to the Yoruba nation. So today, I decided to document it because when I go to universities and to colleges to talk to them, they ask me most times about the history and the culture. And they take me to the libraries. We don't have any documentation about the history. And so that spurred me to write in this book. This book is written to inspire, to inform, encourage, and reaffirm the long-held beliefs of connecting the branches to the roots. To buttress this point, I was told an interesting story, Your Imperial Majesty, recently, about a white Cuban performing at a piano concert in Greece, Athens. Here, he acknowledged the origin of mankind, talked passionately about his roots to Africa, and paid obeisance to the Orishas before starting his performance. The man who was telling me the story is from Lebanese. He said he got goose pimple around him. Similarly, I had an experience in a Kampong community, and which I sent the pictures to Kabiesi while I was in that function in Jamaica, where prayers were being offered, and familiar things, and familiar, sayings like I say being said in response. And that reminded me of the great city of Ile-Ife. The world agrees that the modern Homo sapiens originated from Africa, and indeed, according to our beliefs, has Ile-Ife as the origin of modern civilization. And a lot of people have come to agree with this notion, as you will read in the coffee table book. This brings me to acknowledging and thanking some ambassadors whom are here and others who are not here, and especially the historians from Brazil, from Trinidad and Tobago, from Cuba, from Jamaica, South Carolina, Haiti, and to mention but a few, and others, for affirming the stories through their intellectual notes that has added value to this body of literature. In conclusion, Your Imperial Majesty, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is my firm belief that this coffee table book, Ile-Ife, the cradle of the world, will be read in colleges, in universities, in libraries, hotels, etc., across the world, and will stand as a reference point to our rich history and cultural heritage. Before I end this particular address, I'd like to crave your indulgence and beg everyone in the hall to permit me, at this juncture, to say a big thank you to His Imperial Majesty, Kabiesi, whose support is invaluable. I use another word, immeasurable, to the realization of this dream. I am indeed very grateful. My appreciation goes to the team in Ife that worked tirelessly with those of my team members that went to Ife. And of course, my team in diaspora. A lot of people worked very hard. But this thank you cannot end without me thanking my family, My immediate senior sister is married to somebody from Abeokuta. She's Mrs. Dada. She's right here in this hall. And to say thank you to them. And to my children that are watching us online, that are very excited about this. My entire family, my friends, I can see, you know, on social media, the ambassadors from Netherlands, ambassadors from many countries are with us right here watching. I say thank you to all of you. Finally, remember, there was a lady that wrote a book, and she said the wings, she said the roots and the branches. And she chartered a private airline and flew the first connecting flight between Lagos and Jamaica, Montego Bay. And it took her only 11 hours, coming back with 9 hours. We're working very hard to connect West Africa through Nigeria to the Caribbean through Jamaica. And that will be done very shortly. Your Imperial Majesty, when I see the look on the faces of the people in the countries I represent, most times I can tell them precisely where they're from. And when I call another Nigerian without telling him what I've done and say, guess where this person is from? He says the same thing. Means that we have our people over there. Now, somebody was talking about the black race. No! This move of Ile-Ife bringing the cradle of the world is beyond the black race. Even the white, even other races know that they can trace their roots back to the source. Finally, remember, Ile-Ife as a source is the root to the branches of humanity. Ile-Ife, I would like to say, is the cradle of the world. Thank you.
If you were here and you heard about the import of clapping, the health benefits of clapping, please celebrate it one more time. Thank you so very much. I appreciate you. Thank you. And thank you indeed. Ralph Waldo Emerson, Imperial Majesty, says, culture opens the sense of beauty. Can you behold the beauty of Ile-Ife even in your faces, in the ADVERTS, in the attires, in the spoken language, in the culture, in your conduct? Can you see that? Can you feel it? Please give it up one more time for Ile-Ife, the cradle of civilization, the cradle of the world. It is at this point in time, another descendant of Odua is coming on stage. 2006, when Wesley Snipes visited Nigeria for the very first time and traced his route to Nigeria, I was privileged to be the anchor person, the master of ceremony in Abuja at that ceremony. Grandiose. And today this lady was with us and welcomed Wesley Snipes with her drumming. You know who I'm talking about. Highly celebrated female drummer in the universe. Join me in welcoming Ara Olamoyiwa, the drummer. I can hear that applause if you're proud of your culture and tradition.
Standing on existing protocol, I greet you all. I greet my Kabiyesi, His Imperial Majesty, the Ooni of Ife, His beautiful queens, and all the others. Olori Aderonke, Olori Ashley, and the very beautiful and humble Yeyeliwa, Olori Mariam. I salute you all. To all my Kabiyesis and every distinguished person here. Her Excellency for putting this together. Ooh, yeah. Hear the voice from motherland calling, come home. Can you hear the sound of motherland calling? Ewale. Can you hear the voice of Pharaoh calling? Ewale. From the north, from the east, from the west, from the south. Ewale. Omodua. Eroka Relife. Eroka Relife. Let's go, come on. Can you spell your name in my Yoruba? Hey, I dare you speak my language. Now break it down, come on. Yoruba, èdè abínibí mi ni, èdè tó kù, ó ń kọ́ni lọ́gbọ́n. Now listen. 105 million Yorubas all over the world. But I give a jungle search it, confirm. Because ilẹ̀ Yorùbá, òwe lẹ́ṣin ọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́ṣin òwe. Bọ́rọ̀ bá sọ, òwe la fi wá. Kìnìún lọ́ba ẹran, sọ́yọ́ lọ́gọ́rí aṣọ Yorùbá. Àwa lọ́ba gbogbo ẹ̀yà ló dáhùn ọmọ Yorùbá ní mí. Wọ́n tọ́jú mo gbé tán ọ̀fọ̀ rántí Yorùbá ọmọ ọkọ ní mí. Kọ́mọ̀ ẹ́ Yorùbá ní mí bàbẹ́. Wọ́n tọ́jú mo gbé tán ọ̀fọ̀ rántí Yorùbá ọmọ ọkọ.
All right. Please don't leave the stage that way. You know how we do it back in the United States of America? Can you come up stage a bit and just come take a bow before His Imperial Majesty and the Oloris? Yes. No, you can actually go down, but do this first. Do the stage one first. Take a bow. Thank you very much. Please, a round of applause for her. Imperial Majesty, you can go close and just do the necessary things at the other end. Thank you so much. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, give it up one more time for the proudest drummer and the biggest from Africa. I can hear that for a lady of songs and rhythm. Thank you very much. We'll move on very quickly because of time. And I'd like that we please begin to think of what to put on the platforms as they come to you. We have point of sales machines, and if you want to redeem your pledge almost immediately, we'll be displaying on the screen the account details. But please, if you had made up your mind when coming here to give us 7 digits, please increase it to a higher number so that the Ife Kingdom will bless you. And I know that everyone individual or group of persons, corporate organizations that will be supporting this book, the presentation of this book, will get some blessings. And in no distance time, in 30 days or less, His Imperial Majesty, when he speaks, will tell you the blessings that are critical from the support that you be given. I'd like to please invite Okay, I want to be directed by the Professor of History, did the book review. We'll be inviting some of us to join the chairman of the occasion, Royal Father of the Day, His Imperial Majesty, for the unveiling of this book, because all this while, the only person that has seen this book after the book reviewer is His Imperial Majesty, and perhaps by extension, His Oloris. And so I'll invite very quickly Prince Rotimi Ibidapo to please step out. There's a round of applause for them as I call them out. Prince Rotimi Ibidapo. We also invite Professor Oba McGregor. We invite the Vice Chancellor of the University of Illinois. We invite Mama Kolade to please join them. Mama Kolade, please. We also invite Mama Adura. Yeah, Adura, please join them. Aro of Ileife, Ashiwaju of Ileife, please join them. And then, can I have you stand up just the way you've been invited, please, before we invite His Imperial Majesty. Her Excellency, Ambassador Maureen Tamono, PhD, should also join them. Kabio Salara and Kabio Sulemor, please join them. All these Kabio C's I've mentioned very quickly. Mama Kolade, come. Yeah, Kolade. Mommy, you're sitting around. Okay, Mommy, today. Okay, please, we're going to stand there. Unveil the book first, then you come up here for the public presentation. I need you to take your positions first with a copy of the book each. But we do the unveiling first before you hand over the copies to them. And so it is my honor and privilege to then invite to join them at this auspicious time the bridge builder, building bridges between nations of the world. We invite Your Imperial Majesty, Oba, I beg your pardon, Your Imperial Majesty, Ooni of Ife, Enitonwasi or Jaja II. Can we please have Daddy join them for the unveiling of his very book on Ile-Ife, the cradle of the world. We also invite the wife of Senator Chidi Omoworare to join them.